Almost every wardrobe planning system assumes you already have clothes in your closet. None of that works if your closet is empty. Sometimes a closet empties all at once. Something happens drastically, like you are starting a new job in a completely different field, or you lose your house in a fire or a flood, or you like have to leave suddenly without being able to take anything with you. And by the end of this episode, you'll know what to buy first and how few pieces it takes to be covered. It's actually about eight. You'll also know the one decision that order can't really make for you. Whatever you buy now is what people will see you in for the next few years, or at least for the next few months. So, this is one of the few chances that you get to be seen for who you are now instead of who you were when you bought everything that's in your closet right now. So, here's how this goes. First, we're going to cover the buying order, then what that order leaves open, and then what it looks like when we build one of these starter wardrobes together. What I've noticed is that a little bit of self-knowledge leads to a simple closet that looks effortlessly put together. That's what we all want, right? Wardrobe planning when there's nothing in the closet, here's where it starts. So first, pick whatever part of your life you get dressed for most often. Work or church or being home with the kids or what. I don't think anybody gets dressed for church most often. Sorry about that. Work, working from home, being home with the kids. Those are, I think, most people's contexts. So cover that. If you cover that segment of your life, then you'll feel successful, like you can get dressed every day. So go ahead and fill that one out first. That's what separates eight pieces that you can actually wear from 20 that never quite make an outfit, is that you have just done one lifestyle segment first. Okay, so then in this order, you'll have all the pieces will create actual outfits. So buy a pair of shoes. I mean, if you had to like leave your house because it was burning, you probably were wearing shoes. Maybe you're wearing slippers or flip-flops. Anyway, get at least get one pair that's comfortable, right for just about anywhere that you would go, wearable without thinking about it. And then for a color, you want to choose either your hair color or your skin color. And it's already a personal neutral for you because then whatever you put on for clothes, you are also wearing your hair and your skin. Um, then you're going to get a bottom, like a pair of pants or a skirt or something that goes with those shoes. And or more than one. The second pair lets you skip laundry on a random Wednesday. Although like when I was back in high school, I wore the same pair of jeans every day. And then after that, get toppers, just a couple. Blazer, cardigan, or jacket. And this is what creates actual outfits. And I'm totally open to the fact that that's not something that some of you want to do. So, but that's what I recommend. And layers are always a good idea because, I mean, weather, right? Well, I live sort of in the mountains, so we definitely have weather. And then for each topper, get two or three different tops because that's next to your skin. You can get like lightweight sweaters or plain tees or even tank tops, things that wash easily and don't cost very much. because it's next to your skin, you're probably going to want to wash it each time or maybe wear it a couple times before you wash it. And it's also near your face, so get something that has a nice neckline for you and good colors. And then, I mean, if you're starting from scratch, just get a pair of earrings that you can wear with everything, you know, your best metal. So that's like 8 or 9 pieces, and it's enough to get dressed for a full week. And for right now, that's the goal. You can do that for around $200 if you shop at Target or Old Navy or secondhand, somewhere that's inexpensive. And I've been thinking about that number because I host a coffee and collaboration at a place here in Spokane called Christ Kitchen once a month. The coffee and collaboration is open to any woman in business. So if you're local, you're invited. Christ Kitchen is a job training program for women working their way out of poverty. It's a food production business. It's got catering, a cafe, a food truck. And then when a woman goes through their program, part of what she receives is some money for her own wardrobe. And $200 is the amount that I've heard that they use. So now you know roughly how many pieces to look for and in what sequence, but you don't know exactly which ones. There are 3 things that I can teach you today about your own architecture that answers those questions. And each one lines up with a layer you're already buying. So your waist shape decides your tops. If you have a defined waist with a shelf right below it, you can cinch your tops at the waist. So belted blouses, peplums, button fronts tucked in. If you have a waist that glides in and back out in an arc, you want to build the shape in either like with seaming or with fabric that drapes. So you're going to want fitted knits or princess seaming that like structurally tailors the garment to curve in and back out. Then if your waist is a little fuller than your hip, you can use tops that bypass the waist and take their fit from the hip like a blouson with a banded bottom. Those were super, super popular when I was like, I don't know, in junior high or something. And they come back around every now and again. And I always think they're really cool looking. And so if that's your body type, good for you that you can wear those. Okay, then your hip shape decides the shape of your bottoms, your pants, your skirts. So if you're widest just below the waist, like at the high hip, then tapered is your shape. Pencil skirts, cigarette pants, slim jeans, and sometimes on that um, on that structure even something that is loosish through the leg will look straight because it's taking its design from your body. This is how it's hanging on your body. If you're widest at the top of the thigh, so like at the low hip, then wide leg, uh, like wide-legged pants, palazzo pants, A-line skirts, anything that kind of creates an A shape is the most natural as far as fit on you. And then if you're equally wide, high and low, just real sort of straight through the hip, then straight leg trousers and column skirts are most natural. There's always ways that you can work with things artistically if these aren't your favorites, but if you're just looking for simple, this is where you go. And then your length proportion decides the length of your toppers. So you're going to measure from the widest part of your hip as described in the last section to the floor. If that's more than half of your total body length, then you probably look like you have long legs. And you can wear longer jackets and cardigans ending at the leg break or below. And you can wear also like longer sleeve, like extra long sleeves, like those fun winter ones with the thumb hole in them, or bell sleeves. Then if that measurement from the width of the widest part of your hip to the floor, if that's less than half, then you can wear crop jackets, waist length, cardigans, boleros, sleeves pushed up, or even half sleeves. And all of this is written out with like little illustrations in a free download called Body Design Basics, and you can find the link for that in the description. Um, so when you're rebuilding from nothing, there's a default answer kind of most people think, and that's like replace what you already had. But I had a client a few years ago who came to me after her house burnt down. And she had lost everything. She had insurance money to replace it. She could have just gone out and gone shopping and bought it all, but she wanted to make sure that what she was buying to replace everything was what was going to work for her and be the right pieces for her. She was the mom of twin toddlers. And so first she told me that she kind of wanted to take the plunge, wear some things outside of tees and jeans. And she did end up with a few pieces outside of tees and jeans, some fun toppers and stuff. But mostly she ended up with tees and jeans, the right ones, good colors for her, good shapes, ending at the right place on her, like her length on her body, and like good proportion, good fit. And then when she was at the playground with her kids, she looked put together in jeans and a t-shirt. And that was her real life, which is that's what we're doing. We're here. We're dressing for real life. Um, so when the elements are right, actually the simplest clothes stop looking like a compromise. There's an assumption that I see a lot, which is that like style work starts with what you already own, and then we rip through it and throw things away. Um, which might lead you to think that if you're at zero, you just get shopping and then get help later. But yeah, and like I understand where that comes from because we've all seen the television version where they empty your closet, hold up your favorite sweater, and then there's a reveal at the end. The assumption is that the work begins by taking something away. But here's the order we actually work in. First, you find images of things you find beautiful, landscapes, architecture, objects, lifestyle, nature. That's the essential aesthetic work. And it shows us what your eye is drawn to. Second, we work on silhouette and proportion and which lines relate to your body, where your balance points are, and which necklines work. Of course, before all this, we've done a personality profile. So, first off, you have your personality. That's what's most important about you. Third, we work on your colors. You find your personal neutrals, your contrast level, the colors that come out of your own coloring, and the ones that come out of your aesthetic. And we create a harmony where all of those go together and look good on you. And then we put together the actual pieces and have time for you to work together with me, and we can refine your vision. So by the time you're standing in a store, you've eliminated like 90% of what's there, and your choices are much simpler. The gap I see most often with women is between knowing that you have something that you can offer to the world and then letting yourself take up space and be seen to offer it. And a closet is one of the places that gap shows up. If you're standing at zero right now, the next step is a free 30-minute call. It's a conversation. We look at what you already know about yourself, what you've tried, and what's missing. And you can find the link for that call in the description. Letting your style DNA lead your wardrobe planning is the most effective way to build a closet that looks like you instead of the one you had before. An accurate closet takes one decision off the table every single morning. So, what would you spend that energy on instead? What would you say yes to if getting dressed for the day was already handled? Here's a simple project you can do this week. Shop your own closet like it's a store. One pair of shoes, one or two bottoms, two toppers, two or three tops for each topper. Put them on the bed. Everything else stays on the rod. You can use the Body Design Basics guide while you choose waist for tops, hip for bottoms, proportion for toppers. And then what's on the bed is the wardrobe you would pick today. What stayed in the closet is information. Thanks for being here for Signature Style Systems. Have fun being you, and I'll meet you back here again real soon.